ब्राह्मणेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गुरे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So we'll start with a small bhajan. Radha Krishna Prana Mora Yugala Kishora Radha Krishna Prana Mora Yugala Kishora Jivane Marane Gadi Haro Nahi Mora Radha Krishna Prana Mora Yugala Kishora Kalindira Kole Kele Kadambera Vana Ratana Betira Upar Bosobodu Ijana Shama Gauri Ange Vibo Chantanera Ganda Chamara Dulabo Gabe Harimuka Chandra Gati Amala Tirmala Divador Kale Adhare Tuliya Divo Karpuratambole Lalita Vishakati Jadasaki Vrinda Atnyaya Koribo Seva Charanaravinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasararudasa Seva Bhilasha Kore Narotamarasa Radha Krishna Prana Mora Yugala Kishora Jivane Marane Gadi Arunahi Mora Radha Krishna Prana Mora Yugala Kishora Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Okay, so this is a beautiful song by Narottam Das Thakur. So this is today is about karma yoga, yoga of action or work in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so what are the different types of karma yoga? You know, I'll unmute. Different types of karma yoga. Yes, Shobhana Mataji.
Kamya karma. Nishkama
okay, that means that is sakama karma. Yes, and nishkama karma. Very good. Then
is it akama? Akama karma?
Akama or akarma is different.
Akarma.
Yes, akarma is different. Akarma is different. That's a devotional service actually, which doesn't have any reaction. Okay, so if you sow the seed, there will be the sprouting will come. But what should we do if we don't want the seed to sprout? Anyone knows? You don't want the seed to sprout, but you have sown the seed. That means you have done the sinful reaction, but you don't want the reaction to come. You have done the sin. So
if we don't nurture those seeds like giving water or...
But then natural rain will happen, no problem.
Yeah.
So what is that we should do to the seed that it should not germinate?
You will take that seed out, Mataji.
No, you have already sown it.
The seed.
Huh?
You usually cook the seed.
Yeah, cook the seed or fry the seed. Okay, once it is roasted, the seed is cooked, boiled, or it is roasted, then it doesn't sprout. Similarly, we have done a sin that we have sown it, but you don't want the reaction to come out, then you need to fry it or you need to cook it. What is that process? That is a karma. That is by doing devotional service, there's no reactions coming. But for every action, there is equal and opposite reaction, right? That's what even Newton says. So yes, we have done some karma. It has two effects, punya and papa. Now I want to make this part clear. Imagine I have done a papa. Okay. Now, if I do a punya, will it get balanced? Put in the chat, yes or no. I've done a sin, papa, and in order to balance it, I did a punya. Like I robbed some money, but in order to balance the karma, the same money I used and gave for charity. So you think, okay. Anyone have a yes reply? So you can't balance. Everyone says it's, you know, we can't balance. Okay. Okay. So all are right. So that means, yeah, you're right. So yes. So that means it's a no. So that means if you do negative karma, I mean, you'll have the reaction, negative reaction. And you do a positive karma, there is a positive reaction. You can't balance it, right? Every action has equal and opposite reaction. Not like you have done a sin and then tomorrow you do a punya, then you get balanced. No. Sin have reactions and papa, punya also have reaction. So papa have reaction, that is bad karmas coming. Like for example, someone have disease, cancer, some kind of disease, or some legal issues, or some have born ugly, illiterate, poor. These are all symptoms that you understand that that person have done some bad karma in the past life. And someone is born beautiful, handsome, and so much educated, so much of money or rich, and all that is because of punya. So yes, every reaction has equal and opposite reaction. That means punya also have a reaction, papa also have a reaction, right? So that's the law of karma. So based on the teachings of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Radha Govind ki jai. So in chapter 3, we're going to see that first 9 verses, it's like dealing with the confusion. Arjuna is having a lot of questions that should I renounce? That means I have to run off, or should I work in Nishkama Karma Yoga? So what is Nishkama Karma? You're all from level 1, so you'll be knowing it. What is Nishkama Karma Yoga? Or Nishkama Karma means? Nishkama. It has the word has the meaning.
Without attachment to the results.
Very good. So giving up the fruits of the results, right? You do a karma, but then you are not attached to the fruits of the results. Very good. That is Nishkama Karma Yoga. So Arjuna is asking, should I run off from the battlefield, or instead of fighting, or should I do Nishkama Karma? That means I fight and I don't see the result. So later on, 10 to 16 sloka is from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga. Karma Kanda means you do the work, you're attached to the fruits of the results, right? And Karma Yoga means you give through your karma, you try to connect to Lord. And that 2 types. Sakama Karma, where you enjoy the results according to the Vedas. Nishkama Karma, acting dutifully with detachment to set the correct example. Because Arjuna is a Kshatriya and he is leading the others. See, if Arjuna run off, everyone else will run off from the battlefield. So Krishna says that you should set a right example. And later on, we speak about lust and anger in this chapter. So here it's Arjuna's confusion, renunciation or just running away, or working in Nishkama Karma. So Arjuna's confusion is whether should I renounce or whether should I act. Okay. So here renunciation means Jnana Yoga is difficult. So prescribed action with detachment or Nishkama Karma Yoga is better for Arjuna, right? So we should go from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga. And here, even if Arjuna is qualified for renunciation, he should still do Nishkama Karma Yogas to set the right example, right? And then, so this is the 2 confusion here. Here it is said, Jayasi chet karmanaste mada buddhir janardana tat kim karmani go remam niyo jayasi keshava. Why Krishna is called Keshava? You can type in the chat. Why Krishna got the name Keshava? So here Arjuna is asking, should I renounce? That means just run away from this battlefield and go sit in the Himalayas and meditate, or should I fight in the battlefield, giving up the results? So what should I do? Yes, killer of the Keshi demon. Very good. So since Krishna killed the Keshi demon. Keshi demon, the demon came in the form of a horse. So that is called Keshi Ghat near Yamuna in Vrindavan, where Krishna have with his fist, he killed that demon. That's why he's called Keshava. That's why the Shavatar Stotra have Keshavadrida Buddha Sharira, Keshavadrida Narahari Rupa. Keshava is Krishna. So Krishna has come in all that avatar. So here the first question is, should I run away or should I work? Vyami Sreneva Vakyena Buddhim Moha Yasiva me Tad Egam Vadanishitya Yena Shriyo Aham Apnuyam. My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me. Shreyas. This word Shreyas is described in come repeatedly in different slokas of Bhagavad Gita. Shreyas means what is that best thing in me, in my life. Like if we are in problem, we run to our seniors or someone elders and we ask, give me that good solution, no, which is good for me. So most beneficial for me. So Arjuna is asking again, please tell me, what should I do? Now Arjuna is confused. Should I go this way or that way? Like which way should I go? Should I renounce, run off, or should I actually fight, giving up the results, right? Ekamvata. So he's asking, what should I do? Here it's like completely meditating. But what did Hanuman do? Even though his tail was on fire, he went and burned the whole Lanka. He was doing devotional service for Lord Ram, right? So he's asking, what should I do? Actually, Arjuna don't want to fight, but he fight for Krishna. Then there is no reactions coming. So that is Nishkama Karma Yoga, giving up the results, the fruits of the results. Then there's no reaction coming to you. Okay, we do our karma and the result, you give it to the Lord. You do your best, leave the rest to the God. Similarly, so we do our karma, rest we give it to the Lord. Shri Bhagavan Vaja, Krishna replies, Loke asmin vividha nishta pura prokta mayanaga jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. The Blessed Lord said, O sinless Arjuna, I have already explained that there are two classes of men who realize the self. Some are inclined to understand him by empirical philosophical speculation, and others are inclined to know by devotional work. So there are two kinds of people. One, simply they speculate. The other one, they do devotional service. So work with devotion. That's what Krishna says. Na karmanam anarambhan naishkarmyam purusho ashnute nacha sanyasanad eva siddhim samadhi gacchati. Not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone one can attain perfection. So by leaving everything, we are grihasthas, running off, leaving everything and running off to Himalayas, that renunciation alone won't give you perfection. Many of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disciples or followers were grihasthas and they reached perfection. Sthane sthita shruti katha tanuvan manobir. Wherever we are, we can just do devotional service, right? And he's saying just by leaving from work, that means it doesn't mean you have any no reaction. There will be reaction. Arjuna is a Kshatriya. If he don't fight, that is also sin. Right? A Kshatriya is supposed to fight and protect the country. So Krishna says, you don't think that without working, there's no, oh, I have reactions. If I do this karma, there is reaction. No, your consciousness is important. Do it for Krishna. Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu. Or do it as a service to Krishna. Then there is no reaction coming. Nahi kaschit kshanam api jatu tishtati akarma krid karyate hi avasa karma sarva prakriti jairgunai. Everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities he has acquired from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. So everything is acting, right? There are three doers. Anyone knows? We think we are doing everything, but actually there are three doers now. Actually, are we doing the things? Or is there, who are the doers? Anyone remember?
And the three modes of material nature.
Very good. Three modes. Then who else? Only three modes is enough? Yes, three modes is there. They carry out the action. Who else is involved?
Nature or Prakriti, I think.
Yes, the three modes is the material nature. That's same. Material nature or Prakriti and three modes are same almost. So yes, they carry out. Who desires?
The soul.
Yes, very good. The soul is desiring. So we desire to do an action and the three modes of material nature carries it out. But who sanctions it?
And the super soul sitting.
Very good. The super soul. Very nice. Yes. So there are three doers. Okay. For any action, there are three doers that you should know. That it's the soul who desired it and the three modes of material nature, or the prakriti, or the three modes carry it out. But who sanctioned it? Super soul. So we desire, the super soul sanctions it, and the three modes carry it out. So always, any action, there are three doers. Okay, we should not think, oh, I am doing everything. No, if the super soul doesn't sanction, nothing happens, right? So we should do our karma and then give up the results to Krishna. Ma phaleshu karmaja. Krishna will take care of the results. Karmendriyani samyamya ya ashte manasa smaran indriyartan vimudatma mityachara sa uchyate. One who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on the sense object, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. You can see the sannyasi. We have given this example so many times. Look like a renouncer, but then he's attached to so many material things like cigarette and mobile phones and everything. So they are pretending as if it's a renouncer. You've seen monkeys. The monkey is the most vairagi you can see. He doesn't have a house. He lives in the tree. He doesn't store food. Whatever he gets, he eat. And the monkey doesn't even wear a dress. He doesn't have any gadgets or nothing, right? And then he looked like a pakka renouncer. But then the monkey is always thinking about sense gratification. Whom can I steal food from? Or what food can I eat? And how can I satisfy my senses? This is what called Falgu Vairagya. Falgu is a river, okay? That river is not so deep, but it looks very deep. But when you put your leg into it, it's very shallow. So the monkey looks like a renouncer, but actually he's not a renouncer. So this person, you can see, he looks like a renouncer, but he's not. So Krishna says, don't pretend to be a renouncer. Do your karma. Give the actions to me. Yes, tva indriyani manasa niyarambha de Arjuna karmendriya karmayogam asakta sa vishishyate. On the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind, begins karma yoga in Krishna consciousness without attachment, he is by far superior. Anyone knows who this person is? You can put in the chat. Who is this? Who is sweeping in front of Jagannath? Radha Yatra is coming now, next week. Anyone knows? He has a high position, but now in front of the Lord, he is just doing his service. So that means he is not attached to his position. Yes, King of Puri, but who is that? Gundija Marjan is the cleaning of the temple. So that is done by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's different. This is in Radha Yatra, but yes, he's the King of Puri, but who? Anyone knows the name? It's a famous king. He was a famous king and he was a nice devotee of the Lord. Even though being a king, he came down from his position and is sweeping the floor for Jagannath. He is... No, he is Pradabrudra. Okay, Maharaj Pradabrudra. So Pradabrudra was a great king and of Puri or Orissa. Orissa means same, Jagannath Puri is in Orissa. So he came down from that position and started sweeping for Jagannath, now for the Lord to come. So that means he started doing, he's doing karma yoga, but without attachment. He's not attached, he's doing akarma. Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmatnyayo hi akarmanaha sharira yatra pichate napashityet akarmanaha. Perform your prescribed duty, for doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. So Krishna is saying, Arjuna, you do your work. Why are you running away? Because doing a prescribed duty is better than not working. If you don't work, fight, then you get the sin for not doing it. But if you work, then the reaction will take care by Krishna. Yatnyartat karmano anyatra logo ayam karma bandhana tadartam karma kaundeya mukta sangha samachara. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duty for his satisfaction. And in that way, you will always remain free from bondage. Okay, so Amrita, you know that sloka? 9th chapter, 27th sloka. Yat karoshi yadasnasi.
Yes, Mataji.
Ha, chant.
Yat karosi yadasnasi yadjuhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam.
Very good. So what is Krishna saying then? Yat karoshi yadasnasi yadjuhoshi tadasi yat tapasyasya kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you do, Arjuna, Krishna. Whatever you eat, whatever you action you do, whatever sacrifice you do or tapasya you do, everything should be done Madarpanam as a sacrifice to Krishna. So what is happening here? Anyone knows? What is this picture indicating? What is that is happening here and why Krishna is worshipped? Any yajna? Some yajna is going on.
Mother, is that Rajasuya Yagya performed by
Yes,
Yudhishthira Maharaj?
very good, Dinesh Prabhu, you got it right. Yes, it's Rajasuya Yajna. So after the whole battle happened, Kurukshetra, all the Kauravas and everyone died. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was feeling so bad and was asking Krishna, what should I do? I want to do something because so many people have died. They all got moksha, that's different. But then he arranged for a Rajasuya Yajna and told Krishna, please don't leave after the Yajna. So Krishna stayed there and everyone was thinking in Rajasuya Yajna, someone should be worshipped or offered everything. Then Krishna was offered. Narad Muni came and Yudhishthira Maharaj was here and Krishna was offered. It's actually in this sabha that Shishupal insulted Krishna and with Sudarshan Chakra he killed him. So here it is said work should be done as a sacrifice for Vishnu. So Krishna says in so many places, in 9th chapter also, you should do for the Lord's satisfaction. The duty should be done for his satisfaction. You should always feel, Krishna, I'm doing this for you. Krishna has given this body. Krishna has given this family to us, the work to us and everything. We do everything for Krishna's satisfaction. Then there is no bondage in the material world. If the comparison given is Patma Patra Ivambasha, like a lotus flower with what a lotus leaf with a water droplet, it doesn't get stick, no, it's always detached. So we should prescribe a duty better than not working. Okay, we should do our duty. What are the prescribed duties? According to different sections we have, it will help us purify our heart. If you renounce, you fall down because the heart is not purified. So Arjuna is a Kshatriya, he's a Grihastha also, right? So he should engage in the war, not renounce and go to the forest. What will happen if Arjuna go to the forest? The others also will follow the same example and they'll call him as a coward person because he's a Kshatriya, he should fight. So work should not be given up and without purification of materialistic propensities. Yes, those who take sannyas, they have a better purpose. They are actually renounced. They have reached that stage, but we should not do Falgu Vairagya. So perform work as a sacrifice to Vishnu, which doesn't cause any bondage. Or there are two options. Either you do work for Krishna, there is no bondage, and sometimes you cause bondage. So action or the work should be performed for satisfaction of Vishnu or Krishna, and it doesn't bind you. They'll cause liberation. And you should act under the guidance of a spiritual master. You need a guru for that, and it will help you gradually elevate and develop transcendental loving service of the Lord. And it helps us to go back to Godhead. Right? But then if you perform the work, otherwise the action will cause bondage. There is cycle of birth, death, old age, disease, and then sense gratification. And there is good action and bad action. That's punya and papa. And again, repeat. Even if you do punya, some people think, I'm not doing any sin in this life. I'll do only punya. Is there rebirth? Yes or no? I did only punya. Okay, I'll put in the chat. I did only punya in this life. Okay, no papa at all. Is there a rebirth for me? Yes. They might go to heavenly planets also, no? But even after going to heavenly planets, what will happen? Shine Punye Marte Logam Vishandi. You come back to the earth again. So all of you agree that if you do punya also, there is rebirth. Good. Yes. True. Okay. So even if you do punya, there is rebirth. And what happens? I did a lot of punya. So again, I take birth in a nice family because I did a lot of punya. I'll be born in a rich family, aristocratic family, and I'll be so educated, beautiful, and all that. As I'm enjoying the results of that punya done in my previous life, I'll again do some karma. And again, there is reaction. So that's the dominoes effect, you know. You keep a lot of cards or blocks, one after the other, and then you push one block, all the blocks keep falling. Or you have a boomerang, you throw it, and you just goes and comes back. So that means even if you have punya react, but when you enjoy the punya, again you do some karma. So action, good action and bad action definitely will cause you in the cycle of birth and death. But if you do for Krishna, it doesn't bind you. It will cause you liberation. But you should have a spiritual master, other guru ashraya. Okay. So yoga ladder first is we kind of an animal life. What does animals do? What is that which is common for animals and humans? You can unmute. So animal life means, yes, Shruti Mataji.
Ahar Nidra Bhay Maitum.
Oops. Yes.
It's
Ahara
only
Nidra.
about procreating. Animal nature, it's tamasic.
Tamasic, and they have, yes, procreation. That means, as Prabhu said, Aharam Nidra Payamaidunam Ja Samanya Edat Pashubir Narana Dharmo Hitesha Atiko Vishesho Dharmene Hina Pashubir Samana. Aharam Nidra Bayam Maidunam. That means eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. These four things are same for humans and animals. What is that we differentiate them from us? Dharmo Hitesha Atiko Vishesho Dharmene Hina Pashubir Samana. Dharma, or devotional service. Dharma is what which keeps us different from animals. And dharmena hina, if you don't do dharma, pashubir narana samana, you are almost like an two-legged animal, polished animal. That's what Prabhupada says. But humans life is so special because we can do devotional service and try to go back. So yes, we were all in animal life, eating, mating, sleeping, defending. But later on, we start doing karma kanda. That means we do our karma, we get the results, we start enjoying it. And sakama karma yoga, you want the fruits of the work, fame, wealth, etc. Later on, you do nishkama karma, you give up the fruits. And then you get jnana yoga, you start getting knowledge, accumulating knowledge, right? And then ashtanga yoga, that is all the siddhis, yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, all that. Then there is bhakti yoga, which is the highest. So jnana yoga is like sunshine, that's the light. Then as you go nearby, that's sun disk and the sun planet. So bhakti yoga is the highest in the ladder. Why? Why bhakti yoga is the highest in the yoga ladder? You can unmute. Why bhakti yoga is the highest?
Because it is for the service of the Lord.
Okay, but then karma yoga, jnana yoga, if you do that, it's also connecting to the God.
This is
It's
easiest
it's the easiest, and in one life you can go back, right?
way to reach God. And
Yes,
there is that is maintaining the relation with
Yes, very good. So that's the one way to reach the Lord and maintaining a relationship with Him. And in one lifetime, you can go back to God. Ashtanga yoga, it will take so many lives to reach to samadhi. It's not easy. But in bhakti yoga, even children can participate in bhakti yoga. So in animal life, there is unrestricted sense gratification. They eat whatever they want. They sleep so many hours and all that. Karma kanda, regulated sense gratification. Sakvama karma, devotee with selfish desire, like arto, artarto, jnani, jitya. So you have some desire for the results. But nishkama karma is devotees with no personal interest. They give up the fruits. That's called sadhana bhakti, which we are doing. Then later on, we reach to bhava bhakti and prema bhakti. Okay, these are different types of ladders. We have express, elevated, progressive yoga ladder, and extended yoga ladder. Okay. So here everything starts with animal life, and there is karma kanda. Then we go to sakama karma, nishkama karma. Then you have jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, and bhakti yoga. And in bhakti yoga again, there is bhava bhakti and prema bhakti. Just understand, this is just the yoga ladder where it says the bhakti yoga is the highest. Now karma kanda to karma yoga. If a person is too attached to material life and cannot perform nishkama karma yoga, then what you do for them, Krishna describes the yoga ladder from lowest. That is gradually moving up from karma kanda to karma yoga. Like you do the work, you enjoy the results. And slowly you try to give that results to Krishna. So that is karma kanda to karma yoga. You're trying to connect to God. Srila Prabhupada ends all the purports in section 3 by glorifying the supremacy and need of Sankirtan Yajna. Like that means, because Yajna is Sankirtana Praya. If you do Sankirtan Yajna in this Kali Yuga, then all your reactions are taken care. Sahayajna Prajasa Shrashtva Puro Vacha Prajapati Anena Prasavipya Pradyavyam Eshavo Astva Ishtakarmatuk. So what is Krishna saying? In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creators sent forth generations of men and demigods along with sacrifice for Vishnu and blessed them by saying, be thou happy by this yajna, sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happy and achieving liberation. So Krishna says that we should do our karma and then we should give it to the Lord. Okay, right? In the beginning of the creation itself, the Lord was saying this, and the performance should be done for His satisfaction. So if we satisfy the Lord, yasmin tushti jagat tushta. That means everything will get satisfied. Now it says about yajna. But the yajna, what is the yajna in Satyuga? What people used to do? What is the prescribed yajna in Satyuga?
Meditation, Mataji.
Meditation. What about Treta Yuga?
Sacrifice.
Fire sacrifice or yajna. Dwapar Yuga,
Deity
Temple
worship.
worship.
temple worship or deity worship. And Kali Yuga,
Chanting.
chanting the Mahamantra. Krideya Dhyayato Vishnu, Tretayam Yachato Mage, Dwapare Paricharyayam, Kalor Tathari Kirtanam. So Krideya Dhyayate Vishnu in Sati Yuga people used to meditate. Then Tretayam Yachato Mage, in Treta Yuga they used to fire sacrifice. Then Dwapar Yuga Paricharyayam, that means temple worship. And Kalor Tathari Kirtanam. So Kalartat Hari Kirtanam in Kali Yuga we should do Yajna Sankirtana Praye. So that's the Sankirtan Yajna. But as the sacrifice is also needed. Devan Bhavaya Danena Te Deva Bhavayantuha Parasparam Bhavayanda Shreyam Param Avapsyata. The demigods being pleased by sacrifice will also please you. And thus by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will regain for all. So sacrifice is done. But in nowadays we don't get pure ghee for sacrifice. You don't get nice brahmanas to chant the mantra. You can't go to a secluded place and meditate. It's not possible in Kali Yuga, right? So better to chant the holy name. And here the cycle of sacrifice is explained. So we know the Lord have created the Vedas. So the Vedas, Vedesha Sarve Rahameva Vedyam, Vedanta Krit Veda Videva Chaham, Krishna says. So the Vedas are created by the Lord. And in the Vedas, it is said we should do our karma duties. And the duties, you have to prescribe our duties. And then sacrifice has to be done. Then through by sacrifice, there will be rain, the crops will come out, grains will come, and we cook and offer as the bhog to the Lord, take it as prasad. And again, the cycle of sacrifice goes on. So it is said that by performing yajna, all activities become purified, as it said in the Vedas. Ahara shuddhav sattva shuddhir sattva, shuddhav dhruva smriti smriti, labbe sarva grantinam vipramokshaha. By performance of yajna, one's eatables become sanctified, and by eating sanctified foodstuffs, one's very existence become purified. By purifying of existence, finer tissues in the memory become sanctified. And when the memory is sanctified, one can think of the path of liberation. And all these combined together lead to Krishna consciousness, great necessity of present day society. Prabhupada says, our country is not having any scarcity for food, grains, or money, or anything. The real scarcity or the deficiencies of Krishna consciousness. People are not Krishna conscious, right? So the food should be in sattvic mode, and it should be done as a sacrifice to the Lord. So food, what we eat also, when we offer to the Lord, Krishna says, no, the 4 things we should offer to the Lord. Amrita, what is that slokam? Patra pushpam phalam toyam. You know, the 4 things.
Yes, Mataji. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo mad bhaktas same priyaha. Sorry, Mataji. Patram pushpam phalam toyam.
Yo me bhaktya prayachati. I can't hear you. Hare Krishna. What happened? Hare Krishna, can you all hear me?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, might be Amrita, your network have some issues. Okay, so Krishna says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahritam asnami prayadatmanaha, right? The things we should offer to the Lord and take it, he will accept it. So here it says, Ishtan bogan hi vo deva dashyante yajna bhavitaha tairdattan apradayaibo yobungte stena evasa. In charge of the various necessities of life, the demigods, being satisfied by the performance of yajna, sacrifice, will supply all necessities to you. But he who enjoys such gifts without offering them to the demigod in return is certainly a thief. That means we should offer. But how is the demigods getting power? From the Lord, right? Govindamadi Purisham Tamaham Bhajami. He's the one who's giving. So directly offering to the Lord. You remember the Govardhan Puja when Nanda Baba want to satisfy Indra, Krishna told, no need. You can directly go to the Lord. satisfy. Yajna Shishta Shanto Munjyante Sarva Kilbisha Bunjate Tetva Agam Papa Ye Pachanti Atma Karanat. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kind of sin because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. So actually the devotees, what they do, you can see a plate which is having all the offerings, and then these offerings has to be bhog has to be offered to the Lord, and then you take it as prasad, right? The Lord accepted. Then there is no sin. Okay. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhavaha yajnat bhavati parjanyo yajna karma samudbhavaha. All living entities, bodies subsist on food grains, jiva jivasya jivanam, which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yajna, sacrifice, and yajna is born of prescribed duties. So actually, as grihasthas, we should do the yajna. So the best process of yajna is Sankirtan yajna, an offering patram pushpam phalam toyam to the Lord and take it as prasad. That's very easy to do. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi brahmakshara samudbhavam tasmat sarvagadam brahma nityam yajne pratishtitam. Regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas, and Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, the all-pervading transcendence is eternally situated in the acts of sacrifice. So Vedas are given by the Lord, right? And we should study Vedas to understand the Lord. So whatever is prescribed according to, we have Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. According to our karma, we should do the prescribed duty. Right? As a Kshatriya, Arjuna's duty is to fight. So he should do it. He should not run off. Evam pravartitam chakram nanuvartyayati yada ya akhayur indriyar ramo mokam pratasa jivati. My dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice thus established by the Vedas certainly leads a life full of sin, living only for the satisfaction of the senses. Such person lives in vain. So normally people live only for sense gratification. I want to eat, I want to enjoy, I just want to enjoy. They just think about the body. They don't think about the soul at all. So what happens? Such people are wasting the human form of life. Yesto atma ratir eva syad atma tripta cha manava atmani eva cha santushtas tasya karyam na vidyate. But for one who take pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization, and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, for him there is no duty. That means he is always happy. He is in Brahma Puta Prasannatma stage. He is happy because he is self-realized. That is the goal of human life. Atado Brahma Jitnyasa. Now we should ask those questions. Jivasya tattva jitnyasa. We should know who we are and what is a soul and what should we do to come out of this birth-death cycle. Naivatasya kritenartho na kriteneha kashyana nachasya sarvabhudeshu kashit artha vyapashraya. A self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duty, nor has he any reason not to perform such work, nor has he any need to depend on any other living being. So a self-realized person is a yogi. That means, and he knows that we should satisfy the soul, and he don't have any duty in the sense he'll be doing akarma. He doesn't do anything for bondage. Tasmat asakta satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hi acharan karma param apnodi purusha. Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act as a matter of duty. For by working without attachment, one attains the supreme. So you can see how Srila Prabhupada works continuously. He's always working. He says Krishna consciousness is not just a lethargic life or lazy life. No, it's so much of activity. You ask anyone, it's a brahmachari or sannyasi who's completely dedicated their life for Krishna consciousness. They are so busy than us. We think we are busy, but actually they are so busy. But no reaction bound them because they do it for Krishna. They're doing a karma. So you should do nishkama karma. That's the beginning. We can't directly do that. We can do nishkama karma yoga. Karmaneva hi samsiddhim ashtita janakadaya loga sangraham evapi sampashyan kartum arhasi. Kings such as Janaga attain perfection solely by performance of prescribed duties. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work. So Krishna says, you do your work. That's very important, right? Because if you don't work, then people in general will not work, and you should educate them. See, for children, just by theory, they won't understand. You should practically demonstrate, then the children can understand. Why? This is the sloka. Yat yat achariti sreshta tat tat evetarochana sayat pramanam kurude logas tat anuvartave. Whatever action a great man perform, common men follow. And whatever standard he sets by exemplary act, all the world pursues. So whatever, no, that's normal. So whatever that's why Prabhupada says that the high court judge or someone who is in a high position should be a Krishna conscious person, because then everyone follow in a nice path. Now that is there. You tell them to do something, in theory they won't do, but in action, if you do it, they will follow. You've seen some children, boys especially, they imitate the fathers. The girls, they imitate mothers. They try to imitate them. That's by action. So Krishna is saying, Arjuna, you are leading the whole the Pandavas now and all the armies. So you should set nice example by fighting, not at getting attached to the result. Name partasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nanavaptam avaptavyam varta evacha karmani. O son of Prita. Prita is who? Who is Prita? I'll put in the chat. There is no work prescribed for me within all the 3 planetary system, nor am I want of anything, nor have I a need to obtain anything. Yet I'm engaged in prescribed duties. Yes, who's Prita? No, not Draupadi. Yes, Kunti Maharani, son of Prita. So yeah, no problem. So son of Prita means Prita is Kunti Maharani. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so son of Pritha means Kunti Maharani, and Pritha is Partha is son Arjuna. So son of Pritha is same. Okay, so Krishna is saying there is no work prescribed for me. Nachasta karyam karanam cha vidyate. Lord don't have to do any work, but he doesn't want anything. But still he's engaged in his prescribed duty. Then Krishna came as the son of Nanda Baba. He became a cowherd boy, and Nanda Baba is a Vaishya. Right? Krishi Goraksha Vanija. Does that mean the Lord is a Vaishya? No. He came as the son of Vasudeva, who's a Kshatriya. This does that mean the Lord is a Kshatriya? No. Nothing bounds the Lord. He is above the 3 modes. He doesn't have to do any work, but still he's engaged in his duty to please his devotees. The Lord himself is doing his duty of creation, maintenance, and everything. We should also do our duty. Yadihi aham na varteyam Jadu karmani atendriyata mama vatmanu vartante manishya partha sarvashaha. For if I ever fail to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, so Partha, certainly all men would follow my path. So you should, people will start following me. Okay, so that's what. So you can see how people are following the great person. So then only we can cut the 3 modes. So he's saying, Arjuna, set the right example. Usridyayur ime loka nakuryam karma chet aham sankarsya cha kartasyam upahanyam ima praja. If I did not perform prescribed duties, all these worlds would be put to ruination. I would be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all living beings. So Krishna says, if you don't prescribe the duty, what will happen? Unwanted progeny will come, and then their unwanted population and the peace of the whole living entity will be destroyed. See, Krishna don't have to lift the Govardhan hill. His energies can do, right? He is so powerful, but still he does it so as to protect his devotees. So even Lord is doing the duty, but the duty is done for Krishna. Sakta karmani avidvamsho yada kurvanti bharata kuryad vidvams tata shaktas chikirshur loga sangraham. As the ignorant perform their duties with attachment to results, the learned may similarly act, but without attachment, for the sake of leading people on the right path. Right? So Prabhupada was never attached to anything. When he went to America, he had 40 rupees. Okay, Indian money. And when he came back from America, he had 40 crores. He was not attached to anything. He was still that simple person, always, and simple living and high thinking. And he was using everything for Krishna's service. He says, this is Krishna's money, not mine. He was not proud of anything, right? He was not attached to any result. He was always sympathetic and compassionate to everyone. And he was always thinking how to spread Krishna consciousness. Na buddhi bedam janayet ajnanam karma sanginam joshyate sarva karmani vidvan yukta samacharan. So, as not to disturb the mind of ignorant men attached to the fruitive results of prescribed duties, a learned person should not induce them to stop work. He should not say them to stop work. Rather, by working in the spirit of devotion, you should engage them in all sort of activities for gradual development of Krishna consciousness. So whatever we do, Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijya, or as a Kshatriya or Vaishya, Shudra, whatever we do, we should do it for a gradual development of Krishna consciousness. We should not stop the work, right? We should not completely stop the work. Prakrite kriyamani gunai karmani sarvashah ahangara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. But we think we are the doers. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, ahangaram, thinks himself as the doer of activity, and that are inactually carried out by the three modes of material nature. So there are three doers, the material nature, the three modes, or the prakriti. So prakriti, nature, three modes are all the same. Okay, the Krishna's Mahamaya is taking care of the material nature of prakriti. This material nature consists of the three modes, sattva, rajas, tamaguna. Now we are like puppets in their hand, definitely. So they are the doers. Now the soul have desired. So these people have desired to fight. So the material nature is carrying it out. Super soul is sanctioning it, right? So we are not just the doer. We think we are the doer because of ahankara. So Krishna says, Arjuna, you think you are the you are fighting? No, it's actually the three modes and me as super soul making you do it. We are just an instrument. Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachit. Tattvavittu mahabaho guna karma vibhogayo guna guneshu vartante iti matvana sajjade. One who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, almighty armed, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the difference between work in devotion and work for fruitive results. So we should engage our senses to serve the master of sense. What is Krishna's another name? Because he's the master of sense. You can put in the chat. Krishna is called master of senses. Yes, so that's Rishikesha. Why Krishna is called Rishikesha in Bhagavad Gita? Why? Because Krishna is controlling the senses of Arjuna. This is one of the reasons. Now, Govinda is who gives pleasure to the senses, Neha Mataji. Okay, Govinda is someone who gives pleasure to your senses, to the cow, to Gopas, to Gopis. That is Govinda. And Gopala means who takes care. Okay. Gopala, someone who takes care of the senses and the cows and all. So that's different names of Krishna have different names and it all have meaning. So yes, Rishikesha is the master of sense. So we should use our senses to serve the master of senses. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate Sarvabhadi Vinirmuktam Tatparatvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. We should use our senses to serve the master of senses. With your eyes, you can see the beautiful deity of Krishna. With your ears, you can hear Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. With your tongue, you can chant the holy name and sing kirtan and chant the slokas and take Krishna Prasad. Every senses can be used in Krishna's service. Prakrite guna sammudha sanchade guna karmashu tan akritsan vido mandan Krishna vincha vichalayet. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in material activities and become attached. But the wise should not unsettle them, although these duties are inferior due to the performer's lack of knowledge. So sometimes we are so attached to the fruits, we think, oh, with so much money, we need to buy that, this, so much of sense gratification, right? But then that's because we are bewildered. We are in Maya. So slowly, some part of our money can be used for devotional service. Then it helps us to be free from that karma. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasa adhyatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigatachvara. No claims to proprietorship and free from latachi and fight. So therefore, Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me, Mai sarvani karmani, with full knowledge of me, without desire for profit, with no claims of proprietorship and free from lethargy, and you should fight. So this is little high concept that how to get detached. It's not easy, right? We are all grihasthas and we have our family and everything. How you get detached? Nirbandhe Krishna sambandhe yukta vairagyam uchyate. So if you are having attachment to Krishna, then definitely there will be detachment from this material world. Detached in the sense not running away, that interiorly we'll be detached and we'll do our karma, and along with that we do akarma. Ye me matam idam nityam anutishtanti manava shraddhavanto anasuyanto muchyante te api karmapi. Those persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions and who follow these teachings faithfully without envy become free from the bondage of fruitive actions. So see, you can see this person is a karmi. He have a lot of work to do. Along with that, he's doing his devotional service, right? That is very important. So you should be able to balance things, and every day chant your prescribed rounds, right? Try to read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, hear Bhagavatam, some kind of devotional service along with your normal karmic work. Then there is no reaction coming. Yetve etat abha suyanto nanutishtanti me matam sarvajnana vimudamstan vidhi nashtan achetasaha. But those who out of envy disregard these teachings and do not follow them regularly are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. So Krishna says, if you follow this path, then there is liberation. Otherwise, we are just going to fall in some pit. Sadrisham chestate swaya prakrite jnanavan api prakritim yanti bhutani nigrahan kim karishyati. Even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature. For everyone follows the nature he has acquired from the three modes. What can repression accomplish? So you can see Krishna have created Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. Chatur varnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagasha, based on your quality and karma. Why? So that we keep Krishna in the center. All of them can get liberation. Indriya sendriya syarte ragadveshau vyavastitau tayorna vasham ajatet tauhi asya paripantinau. There are the principles to regulate attachment and aversion pertaining to the senses and the objects. One should not come under the control of such attachment and aversion because they are stumbling block on the path of self-realization. So who is this person? You can unmute and say, who is that?
Raja Bharat.
Bharat Maharaj.
Yes, and what did he become in the next life?
Dear.
And in the
Deer.
third life?
Jad Bharat.
Jad Bharat.
Jada Bharat. Very good. Yes. So initially he was Bharat Maharaj. He got detached from everything. He left all his property and everything, came to the forest. And you know the story, what happened? He got attached to the deer. And he was thinking of the deer at the time of death. So what happens if you think of something at that time of death? Amrita, you know the sloka? Antakaleschu mameva. Or you know that sloka? Yam yam.
Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah yam yam.
Oh, sorry. Can you unmute? Nice.
Yes, Mataji. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tame veti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha.
Very nice. You know, a lot of slokas. You're like an encyclopedia. Huh? Very nice. Good. I like when kids chant slokas. So good. So what is that? You should understand the meaning also, Amrita. Try to, if you're not able to memorize the whole translation, at least try to understand the meaning. So what is it says? Andakale shamameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayadi samatpat yadi nashtatra asamsheha. Antakalesh, at the end, if you remember Krishna, then Krishna says, no doubt that they'll come back to me. Then yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajat ande kalevaram tam tameva ida kaundeya sada tat bhava bhavita. Whatever state of mind, consciousness, the soul thing, I mean the soul things in the mind when the time of leaving the body, that's a state we attain. So Maharaj Bharat was thinking about the deer. He became a deer, but he was so fortunate that he could remember his past life in the deer body, and he became Jada Bharat, and he could serve Raghuguna Maharaj, and he got liberation after that. He became the guru to Raghuguna Maharaj, and he gave transcendental knowledge. So this all proves the example that we should control our senses. So that's why we ask you to chant the Hare Krishna. Why? Because at the time of danger, or we don't know when death comes and anything, but we naturally tend to chant the Lord's name if you practice now. Shreyan swadharma biguna para dharmat swa anushtitat swadharme nidhanam shreya para dharmo bhayavaha. It is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties, even though faultily, than others' duty perfectly. Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in another's duty, for to follow another's path is dangerous. So it's better that you do your karma, okay, better than taking the karma of others. So it is said that you should walk in your shoes. Don't try to walk on others' shoes. Like whatever is prescribed for you, you carry out. So Arjuna, you are a Kshatriya, you fight. Now that's your duty. So later on in this chapter, Krishna describes about lust, anger, and greed, the three gates to hell, and how to control them. Arjuna uvaja adha kena prayukto ayam papam charadi purusha anichan api varshneya balad ivani yojita. Arjuna said, "Oh descendant of Vrishni, Krishna, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force?" Sometimes when we hear some crime happening, we'll be like, how did that person do this? I know that person, he's so nice person. So Arjuna is asking, what is that which makes them forcefully do something? Even unwillingly, they do some sinful act. You can see a person is bound by greed, pride, envy, ignorance, and everything. What is that which makes us do? Krishna says, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Kamayesha Krodesha Rajaguna Samudbhavaha Mahasano Mahapapam Viti Enam Iha Vairinam. So there are then 8 steps actually. What happens to fall down? Okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material modes of passion and later transformed into wrath, which is all devouring sinful enemy of the world. So there are 3 functions of the mind: thinking, willing, and feeling. Okay. So first, what happens? There is contemplating of objects, then there is attachment, then there is lust. Unsatisfied lust leads to anger, then there is delusion, bewilderment, or Hare Krishna, I got disconnected. Sorry for the internet issue. Okay, we'll finish it fast. Okay. Okay, so here it is said that the Lord says about how to control our lust. It's all because of your mind. Okay, then 8 steps of fall down. And about lust, he says that Dume naivriyate vahni yatadarsho malena cha yatodbhavene vrito garbhas tata tenedam avritam. As fire is covered by smoke, as mirror is covered by dust, and as embryo is covered by womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of lust. Okay. Hare Krishna, Harshali Mataji, can you hear me?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, sorry for that. I have some network issue. I'll finish it. Just 5 more slides. We'll finish it fast. Danu. Okay, so I'll finish it fast. I have some unstable internet. Avritam jnanam etena jnanino vairina kamarupena kaunteya dushpurena analena cha. So thus, the wise living entity's pure consciousness become covered by the eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire. Okay, so you can see that lust is that which is covering us, and it burns like fire because unsatisfied lust will cause us angry. So while chanting the Hare Krishna, actually we are controlling our senses by engaging in Krishna service. So you can see the body is compared to a chariot. We have 5 senses: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and all these are like horse. And you have the reins, the mind, the intelligence is the driver, and the soul is the owner, right? So it is said, Indriyani Manobuddhir asyadishtanam uchyate eter vimohyate aisha jnanam avrityate hinam. The senses, the mind, and the intelligence are sitting place of the lust. Thus, through them, lust covers the real knowledge of the living entity and bewilders them. So where is it? The mind, intelligence, and senses are the sitting place of lust. So if you control the horses, how can you control? By the mind, right? That is the senses, the reins. So how to control the mind? Again, we should have nice intelligence of spiritual knowledge, and through our senses we control our mind. So by engaging the senses in Krishna consciousness. Tasmatvam indriyani adau niyamya paradarshapa papmanam prajahi enam jnana vijnana nashanam. Therefore, Arjuna, best of Bharatas, in the very beginning corrupt this great symbol of sin, lust, by regulating the senses, and slay this destroyer of knowledge and self realization. So lust is the one should be controlled, and Krishna says you should control that. Indriyani paranyahur indriyebhya paramana manasastu para buddhir yo buddhe parasastu sa. Mind is between the senses and intelligence. So you have body, then we have a senses which is superior, then you have mind which is more superior, intelligence is still higher than the mind, and soul is even higher than intelligence. So we should take care of the soul. There are 5 consciousness. Okay. One is a bodily platform consciousness. We think we are this body, that is called Annamaya Kosha. Then we have the knowledge that essential platform. Okay. We know we are living. Okay. Jivamaya, then mental platform, Jnanamaya, intellectual platform, Vijnanamaya. Next is Anandamaya, spiritual platform, where there is unlimited happiness, Brahma Buddha Prasannatma. So based on the consciousness, there are 4 lakh form of human species. Chatur Lakshani Manava. Evam buddhe param bhutva samstabhyatmanam atmana jahi shastram mahabaho kama rupam durachadam. Thus, knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind, and intelligence, O mighty Arjuna, one should steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness, and thus by spiritual strength conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. So the only way to control the senses is by engaging it in a higher taste, param drishtva nivartante, right? The mind is so crazy. If you give a higher taste to it, then it gets controlled. Okay, so he stops in this chapter by saying that you should control your lust and start fighting, start doing Nishkama Karma Yoga, do karma, and do it as a dedication to me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Harshali Mataji, quickly, I'll take 5 minutes question. If you have question, you can put in the chat. I'll open chat also. Yes, Mataji, can you unmute someone? Yes. Hi, Krishna. Being sannyasi is not enough, okay, but true. But I think only sannyasi can do the nishkama karma with selfless service without attachment of anything. Yes, that is true. So we have a lot of attachment, right, with family commitments and everything. So it cannot be ignored. So what we do, that whatever we are doing, we offer it to Krishna, like the money which we get from our work, and we use that money to fulfill the desire of our children and everything. So that money you offer to Krishna and then take it as prasad and then use it for Krishna's. So in that way, there is no karma binding you, and that means we're not so attached to the fruits. Yes, we all need money to live and everything to satisfy the desires. But if you offer that, a part of it can be used to buy some fruits, vegetables, and offer it to the Lord, or buy Bhagavad Gita, or do some donation to the temples, anything. If you do the part of your the result is given for devotional service, then it becomes akarma. Then there's no reaction to it. Okay. Yes, Shruti Kirti Mataji. Can you unmute?
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji, for today's session. So I had a question on that 3.41 and 3.42 and 3.43. I'm like always confused with that, the sense, intelligence, and the soul. And you told
Okay.
about the last where it lies, and also those 5 questions. That is, you can just summarize on that 3.41, 42, 43. You can make it more simpler.
Yeah, the 5 kosha is basically the consciousness level. So first is like all human beings have different consciousness. Okay, one will be conscious about the soul, one is not conscious about the soul. Some don't know that we are spirit soul. They just think we are this body and they have sense gratification, right? So that is the bodily concept. First is Annamaya kosha. They just think that they are this body and they don't have any spiritual knowledge. Slowly there is Jivamaya. We think that they know that they are living, actually at least living. So that consciousness, matter and spirit. Then Jnana Yoga, Jnanamaya kosha, that means little more intelligent to know that we are spirit soul. Then Vijnanamaya, actually applying that knowledge, and Anandamaya, that is spiritual ecstasy. Okay, these are consciousness. Based on consciousness, there are different human beings, different forms. And next, what you said is lust, right? So the senses, yeah, when you compare the chariot, or the body is compared to a chariot. So when you compare the body to the chariot, the senses are the 5 horses. Then you have the mind, which is the reins. The owner is the intelligence, and the driver is the intelligence, and the owner is the soul. That means the senses are like horse, that it has to be controlled, and it's possible only by training your mind, and that is possible by engaging them in Krishna service. Okay. What else, Mataji? About?
Yeah, that's it, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Shobhana Mataji, Manav Seva, Madhava Seva, that is actually kind of a debate question, actually. So definitely we can serve people thinking that everyone have super soul in their heart, everyone is part and parcel of the Lord, but that doesn't mean you ignore devotional service. No, we have to do devotional service, because if you satisfy Krishna, then everybody is satisfied. Actually, it's actually the Lord who supplies everyone. Ego bahunamyo vidadadi kama, right? So we should satisfy the Lord also. Ramesh Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. My question is that this Srimad Bhagavad Gita knowledge was given some 2 crores years, if I exactly remember.
120 million years ago to Sun God.
20 million years ago to Vivekwan Surya.
Yes.
So basically, I think it must be in some other form. Like it won't be the same text, because in this text you find Raja Janaka and Arjuna and Pandavas, Kauravas, everything is mentioned there.
Yes.
So it must be in some other form. And can we have a glance what kind of form it might be?
No, it's actually this. Krishna says, "Evam parampara praptam." It was same, and then Evam Rajarshio Vidu, and he says that I have given this knowledge to Sun God, right? And it is the same knowledge that is coming down. But yes, extra things are added, because now it's Krishna comes in Dwapar Yuga and again gives the same knowledge. But basically, everything was same. But it's actually the written form came later, but it was just oral perception, right? It was Shruti Praman. They used to hear Shabda Brahman or Shabda Praman. It was. Otherwise, it's a Krishna says it's the same knowledge I'm repeating because it was lost. Yes, Deval Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Question is that in other books like Mahabharata or anywhere, it is mentioned Krishna Uvacha or Madhava Uvacha.
Yes.
Why is it Bhagwan Uvacha only in Bhagavad Gita, whereas Vyasadeva has written everywhere Krishna Uvacha or Madhava Uvacha or Keshava?
Yeah. No, that is because he is Swayam Bhagavan,
Sure.
and by speaking Bhagavad Gita, he's proving that Aham Sarvasya Prabho, that he is the source of everything. Aham Bija Pradapita, he is the seed giving father. Aham Adirhi Devana, that he is the source of all demigod. So Krishna is proving here, and Veda Vyas also want to prove that Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. Eta Cham Sakala Pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So to prove that he is the one who's having the 6 opulences, all the 6 opulences, Aisvarya, Veerasya, right? The beauty, knowledge, renunciation, and everything together. And to prove that he is Swayam Bhagavan, to make people understand and surrender to him. That's why Bhagavad Gita specifies Bhagavan Uvacha. Yes.
Can I ask one more addition to this, Mataji?
Yes.
So yeah, in Mahabharata again, when Arjuna asked after post the war, everything happened and everything's finished, he asked Krishna to repeat Bhagavad Gita because he was very, in that bewildered state and all. He said,
Yes.
now I'm in a peace of mind. Can you please repeat? So that time Krishna says, no, now I cannot repeat because that was not me. That was the Parabrahman stage of mind which spoke.
No, it's actually Krishna, the Supreme Personality spoke.
So that was the
How can-
Bhagwan Vacha.
Yeah, Brahman cannot speak. Brahman is just an effulgence. It's an impersonal feature of the Lord. So the speaking will come from the person, the personality of God. Brahmedi, Paramatmedi, Bhagavanedi, Shabdade. So it's a Supreme Personality of God as a person who spoke actually. So the Brahman is just the impersonal feature.
Okay. All right. Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Amrita,
Hare
you have a question? Or can you unmute?
Yes, Mataji. As we have 4 yugas, and if the Kali Yuga has completed, again Satya Yuga is going to come, and Krishna is going to repeat the avatars.
Yes, everything is going to repeat. So now we have 4,27,000 years left for Kali Yuga. Now once that is over, then Kalki will appear and everything is destroyed. Then again creation will happen. Again Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga will repeat. So yes.
Okay, Mataji.
And those who are fortunate can finish the birth death cycle and go back. Others, based on karma, will be reborn again and again. So it is said the next 10,000 years is very special for Kali Yuga, and it's a golden year. And try to go back in this year. And these are the law books. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam is the law books for going back. Okay. Yes, so Vedavyas compiled. Yes, Mataji.
I just have this doubt, like all these yugas, that 4 yugas we speak about, is it applicable only to the earth or all the heavenly planet that we speak of?
Yes, actually there is dissolution. When pralaya happens, or when the time of destruction, there are 2 types, total dissolution and partial dissolution. Partial means the upper 3 planetary system will not be lost. That Maharlok, Janagalok and Brahmalok will be staying. The other, all the lokas will go under the ocean, Garbhadakshay ocean. And there's partial destruction. Then there is complete dissolution where all the universe destroys. So yes, the higher planetary system up to the material world, okay, will be destroyed, the heavenly planets. But spiritual world is never destroyed. Vaikunta and Goloka will remain the same. The other lokas, yes, there is destruction happening.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yes, so Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata. Yes, the Bhishma Parv, no, so it is taken from that. So definitely, otherwise there is no if Arjuna didn't get bewildered, lamented, then there is no Bhagavad Gita. So it's all Krishna's arrangement to give this pure nectar to us. Krishna gave this Bhagavad Gita to us. Yes, when Vyasadev written it and gave the Vedas to us. Okay, so Hare Krishna, I think all of you do your mark your attendance. It's very important. And also do your quiz. As we finish each chapter, please do the quiz, because only if you get this level 2 certificate, you can go to level 3. Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna, Harshali Mataji. Thank you. So I think we can end here. Vancha kalparubhasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha anantkodi vaishnavvrinda ki jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, Harshali Mataji. You're sharing the LMS now to them?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Okay, so let them all do the quiz, and also then only you can go to the next level. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining.